Actual Karen, okay, boomer. Senator James Lankford, the darling of the Blame My Constituents School of Governing, is in what some would call a mell of a Hess. I know he is no longer on my ballot, but his votes seem to apply to me and my family, which doesn't really seem fair. Mitch McConnell doesn't even allow my senators to vote. When I was still in Oklahoma, I called Lankford's office regularly, and I still do, because I feel sorry for a lot of friends stuck in fire engine red Oklahoma. Lankford used to believe in limits to who could own guns and what kind of guns, and against open carry. He tried to amend that huge tax cut for the wealthy to get rid of it if it didn't trickle down. It didn't pass, and there was not enough trickling to fill a shot glass. He used to believe in exceptions to abortion, like rape and incest. He also believes Trump is a horrible example for anyone but Lankford and the family. That's his D.C. family. Believe God has been grooming Trump to control women's bodies, probably because he has had such practice with it. To keep his Trump-loving base happy and to prevent the Franklin Grahams from excommunicating him, he decided to use his big, deep, lurch-like voice to repeat things I doubt he believes, to prevent a challenge from the right. It may be hard to believe, but there are Okies much further right and a lot more unbalanced than Lankford. He said he just wants to reinvestigate the evidence-free 61 frivolous lawsuits because a lot of those on the far right, self-righteous Yokies, believe anything Trump says. Frivolous lawsuits used to be a plank in the GOP platform, which they have replaced with a rickety pier off the deep end in order to cover Trump's backside. Lankford claims he keeps up with the news, but had no idea Trump was specifically going after areas with high black populations. I think we know what he watches and reads. Anyway, the Tulsa Race Massacre Centennial Commission has asked him to resign. So he goes through this tortured effort to explain why he chose to do it, because he had no idea black Oklahomans were smart enough to know what Trump and the GOP were doing. It isn't like they've never seen it before. Lankford didn't apologize, he just pointed out that they misinterpreted his intentions. I got the biggest laugh I've had in months watching Derek Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP, a native of Detroit, take Lankford to the woodshed with Aaron Burnett on CNN. Lankford claims he was blindsided that Detroit, Philadelphia, and Atlanta had large numbers of black people who object to the GOP insisting they vote in person during a pandemic because they cannot be trusted to vote by mail. Lankford's base is loaded with anti-maskers. The guys with the guns believe wearing a mask to protect others is just like slavery. Then there's Lankford's branch of the party who believe wearing one means you lack faith that God will protect you. Johnson said something like, since Lankford now realizes that Trump's been lying to him about why he's challenging the vote in black communities, maybe Lankford should show he has seen the light by voting to convict Trump. Not going to happen. Lankford claims black Oklahomans should forgive him, even if he did not apologize. They need to understand how confusing the states' rights plank of the GOP platform is becoming. You put states in charge of fighting the pandemic and then yell at them for not doing what Trump wanted. Then They want to throw out an election only in places with large black populations, and then throw the election back to legislatures controlled by Trump. Lankford and the GOP like to talk about what a great and fair voting system Oklahoma has. Republicans dominate Oklahoma's government. The Senate has 40 Republicans and 8 Democrats. The House has 75 Republicans and 6 Democrats. The reason for that has to do with the lovely way they gerrymander, especially in the places where there are large black populations like Oklahoma City and Tulsa. The congressional districts are bad, but the state ones are worse. Here is Congressional District 5. You will notice it has these 2 big areas here and here. This one's Oklahoma County. You notice this little jag out of it here? That's Midwest City and Del City, Midwest City's has the highest percentage of black citizens than anywhere in Oklahoma. Del City has the 3rd, so they just took that chunk out to put in 4. This part right through here is one of the large black communities around the capital. But they put it this way because this up here is Edmond, 82% white. Down here has Shawnee, that's 77% white. And then you go on off into the rural areas of Oklahoma. Okay, now Tulsa and Oklahoma City are both 15% black. But this is District 1. You'll notice this chimney type thing going up here all the way to Kansas. That's 80 miles. Up here is Bartlesville. Bartlesville is 82% white. You notice this little thing sticking out here? That's Sand Springs. It's 86% white. Down here is Broken Arrow, which is 82% white. You should not pay a lot of attention to what Lankford says about how great Oklahoma is on fairness in voting. The machines might be good, but the demographics are all wonky-jawed, and black Oklahomans know that better than any other Oklahomans. Bye.